Ladies and gentlemen, it still blows my mind how many people use Cold-Blooded and Combat Scout. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys why you should not be running either Cold-Blooded or Combat Scout in Warzone. And I'm going to be giving you the better alternatives to these perks. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this video. So just to prove my point here in Warzone Rank, they show you the most popular perks in Warzone. If you go to the perk 1 slot, for some reason, number 2, at 31 pick ratio, it's Cold-Blooded, and this is just the utmost ridiculous choice you can make. And again, I'm about to show you guys, not just because of what my opinion is, but number based on math. All right, and then next one, if we go all the way to the bottom, Combat Scout is still number 2, being used 26% of the time. Now let's go into the main battle, right, which is the Combat Scout. Why shouldn't you be using that perk, and what other one should you be using? So I'm good. It's good to know here that Amped is still the most picked one here. And that should be the correct weapon of choice. That should be the correct, perk of choice. If you're using Combat Scout, you're really using the wrong perk. And let me tell you why. So when does actually Combat Scout help you, right? When is it actually utilized? When is it good for you? Well, if you are beaming, let's say somebody through a wall, somebody through a shootable surface, anything like that, that is why people like it, right? I mean, because you can beam them through objects, right? Maybe if you shoot them a little bit and they go behind a wall, even if you can't shoot them, it gives you a 0.000001 second idea of where they're going to be. So more than likely, it's going to be for you to beam people through the walls, right? Because if you're face to face, if you're in the open field, it doesn't really help you that much. I mean, you can see the guy, right? I mean, maybe if you're blind and you need some little help and that's why it pings them red, might help you a little bit better. And maybe if you don't have comms, right, and maybe your teammate can see him better, that's also true. But if you got comms, you don't really need it. So it's one of the important things talking about comms. A lot of people say, well, so my team knows where it's at. Honestly, before I start shooting at somebody, or even while I'm shooting at him, I always have to have it to pin the enemy. So you should never really be reliable on this perk, because good comms and pinging make this perk absolutely useless when talking about, it's so my teammates know where they are. If you got good comms and you got good pings, you don't need this. Now, next up, against the Amped, right? Why should you be running Amped? So we talked about why people like using this is so you can beam through objects and stuff like that. If you use Combat Scout, right, or Amped, let me ask you something. During the game, what are you doing most of the time? Are you shooting people through walls, or are you switching your weapons? It sounds so dumb, but that's actually what it is. The perks are meant for you. You should utilize the perks on things that you use the most, right? That's what it should be for. So what do you do more in the game? Are you switching your weapons more, right? Let's say you're sniping and then you switch your SMG to push an enemy, or the other way around, you've got an AR and LMG and you're pushing and then somebody comes right in front of you and you switch weapons. Not only that, are you switching more weapons in the game? Are you throwing lethals in the game? And are you plating faster? Because yes, those are all these 3 things that Amped does for you that people don't realize. Number 1 is the most obvious one. You switch weapons. Number 2, you actually throw the lethals a lot faster. And you do plate up a lot faster. So the actual mechanism of plating is the same, but since your weapon is ready faster, you are ready to shoot, and you do plate up faster, quote unquote. And this has been proven in various videos. So what do you do most of the time? Do you do these 3 things more, or do you shoot people through walls? I think that is a very, very obvious question that you should answer, and that's why the number 1 pick should be Amped. Now, maybe this should be a little bit lower, maybe at like 5%, but if you are a teammate that's got an LMG, you sit back and relax and you beam people from far away without actually being that aggro, then it might be good, right? You might want to have that one team that just sits back and shoots people and it pings them, and then your rushers go in and eliminate them quickly, right? If you maybe like a little bit more of a body friend, then you can give him this perk. And now let's talk about the one that still blows my mind. Cold-Blooded. 31% of the people choose this. Most ridiculous choice you can do in the world. And number 1, right? Why do people use Cold-Blooded? Well, that is to counter Combat Scout, right? Let's just do a simple math here. Let's pull up this screen right here. Again, not being opinion based, just math wise. So 31% of the people choose Cold-Blooded to fight the people that use Combat Scout, right? That's the only reason, right? Thermal isn't even an option in this game. It's for Combat Scout. So now let's see how many people choose Combat Scout. 26% of the people. To make our life easier, let's just say 25% of the people use it. What does this mean? This means that 1 out of every 4 enemies that you face will have Combat Scout. So what does this mean? This means that you are utilizing a perk 1 slot for 25% of your matches, for 25% of your battles. Every time that you go into a fight, there is a 1 in 4 chance that that enemy has Combat Scout. So again, this perk, you are only utilizing it for 25% of the time, which is ridiculous. Each single perk you should use every single time, and that's why we got double time. That's a great option. I don't run double time, but double time, you're using it 100% of the time. You're always running, right? Double time, perfect. EOD, it's something that's on you. Perfect. Everybody's always got grenades, right? Everybody's always got thermites, got C4s, got RPGs a lot lately. So that is pretty understandable as well. Although, you know, I drop my EOD, I don't use EOD. The one I do use is Quick Fix. And again, Quick Fix is only at 4.7, but Quick Fix got like a little bit of a buff that a lot of people didn't notice. And what Quick Fix does is that when your health is low, and before, when you eliminated a player, your health went back all the way to 100. But now I've been noticing that even if you get an enemy down, your health will go all the way back to 100. And believe me, it has saved me in a lot of scenarios. Regardless of which one is my perk of choice, what I'm going here is that double time, EOD, and Quick Fix, you'll always use them, right? EOD, again, maybe sometimes they don't throw grenades at you, but Quick Fix, you're always fighting against an enemy. Most of the time, your plates go down and you're fighting with your normal health. And double time, you're always running. So you should never, ever use Cold-Blooded. That is a perk that you're going to be running into 1 out of 4 times. Again, it just does not make sense mathematically on why you should be using this perk. Never use anything that you're only going to be using 25% of the time. And ladies and gentlemen, that was my explanation. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Do you agree with me? If you do not agree with me, let me know down below in the comment section. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one.